My name is David Fales. I'm currently in tech sales at a company called Docker as an account executive. I attended MPC in 2010 and 2011. Being a Lobo alumni and part of the MPC community is huge, and it's just a big part of me as the man I ended up becoming in my athletic career. It was a big part of the development of just not, as I said, not only the player but as the man. So it's a lot to me.
I coached David, he coached me for 2 years. He tolerated the coaching, he overcame the coaching. We all learn from each other, and the real journey is to not let setbacks take you down. And all the things that could have been tough and disappointing for him, he never lost his happiness and joy, work ethic, and he knew the right thing was going to come along.
Jeff Carnazzo, I've been teaching here for 33 years, and I'm also the head varsity football coach, and this will be my 25th year. I would describe David Fales as a tireless leader who outworks his competition and thrives under pressure. That about sums David up.
The less words and the more action is a better leader, and that describes David Fales.
Not the biggest vocal leader, but where my leadership does have an impact is I will always hold the standard, and I'll do more, and I don't change. I think my superpower is consistency. Relative to extremely athletic and talented people, I'm average. Like when you compare me, but I think where my superpower is I will do it longer and more consistently than most. That's why I love football and team, because you know who you can trust and who you can rely on. And I love being that guy. And as a quarterback, I think you have to hold the standard.
David had already committed out of going into his senior year in high school to Nevada, Reno on scholarship. So he didn't have an interest in Monterey Peninsula College when I first met him.
After high school, I decided to go to UNR. I had committed to them after my junior season, and I didn't have any other offers, but I also didn't entertain any others. So I went there thinking that I was going to have an opportunity to play relatively quick, because Colin Kaepernick was a junior there, and he was predicted to go to the draft. And within 2 or 3 months being there, Coach Alt brought me into his office and told me, "Hey, you can stay on scholarship, but you'll never play here." As soon as he told me that, I told him I was leaving.
You know, I was talking to him on the phone, and he was talking to me about what he was thinking about doing. I said, "Okay, you're giving up a full ride scholarship, but what I like about this, David, is that you're betting on yourself." I remember saying that exact thing to him, is that you're betting on yourself. You're going to go back to MPC, and you're going to be exceptional, and you're going to scholarship out of there, and that's exactly what he did.
Some of the hardest moments of my career was that first year at MPC, where I had to learn about how to compete and be a better teammate and a player.
I would probably start him sooner than I did, but there's an accountability issue with a team. You don't gift or entitle. And so David had to earn it. And we did have a returning starter at quarterback. And no one really won it in training camp, won the position. Although I kind of knew the people. And you're not going to play quarterback for me if you're not the most unselfish, hardest working guy. I don't care. We'll find a way to win with a certain whatever type of offense, but you're going to be the right model for our quarterback position. And David was that.
Lobo work ethic has been, I would say, kind of the foundation for how I've approached like majority of my football career and even life after. I always told like former teammates and anyone who's kind of gone to JUCO in general, but MPC is a little bit different, because I don't think most coaches like Mike Rasmussen and even Ronnie Palmer run it like a D1 program to the extent that they do. They still run it, just even if they don't have the numbers, like you're always going to have the numbers at a D1, right? You can get walk-ons, you can get people, so you always have bodies. It's not always the case in MPC, and the turnover is year to year. It's even harder to be successful there because you have to build this culture and standard in a short amount of time and get so many guys bought in on this journey and path for the year, and then half or more are probably going to be gone the next year. So I think like it's hard to do that, and when you learn how to work in that environment, everything else is easy. The practices were the hardest practices I've ever been in. The conditioning was the hardest conditioning I've ever been in. That's NFL and San Jose State. Every time I think it's hard, I just think back to my practice with Mike Rasmussen when it's 7 p.m. We're 2 hours deep. We have a bunch of hurt guys, but it doesn't matter because we have to get the reps in. And we're all tired and everyone's beat up. And when you're in it, you're like, this doesn't make sense. Why are we doing it? But when you get through it and you have success and you realize that like nobody cares, like the standard is standard, you have to put the time in. Um, you just set the foundation for how you kind of approach everything. I think it's been the foundation for how I approach the remainder of my career in football and even life after.